When I first joined the company, I was nothing more than a quiet developer with big dreams. I believed in innovation, teamwork, and loyalty, the very values our CEO claimed to live by. He was my mentor, my role model, and the man who inspired me to work harder every single day. Together, we built something powerful, a product that could change the future of our industry. I remember those late nights in the office, the hum of computers, the smell of coffee, and the glow of screens as I fine-tuned every detail of our breakthrough software. My CEO would pat me on the back and say, "You're the real genius behind this." Those words meant everything to me. I trusted him completely. But then, something shifted. The closer we got to success, the more distant he became. Meetings that once included when I first joined the company, I was just another ambitious developer with dreams bigger than my paycheck. I wasn't after fame or power. I just wanted to create something meaningful, something that would make an impact. Our CEO, Daniel Carter, was the kind of leader people admired, confident, charming, and full of vision. When he noticed my potential, I felt like I had finally found someone who saw my worth. He became my mentor. We worked side by side on what would soon become the company's biggest innovation, a technology that could revolutionize how businesses managed data. I poured my soul into that project. Late nights, endless debugging, redesigns, failures, and breakthroughs, all of it fueled by one dream, to make something that truly mattered. Daniel encouraged me at every step. "You're the backbone of this project," he used to say. "When this launches, everyone will know your name." Those words kept me going through exhaustion and doubt. But slowly, something began to feel off. He stopped inviting me to important meetings. My emails went unanswered. When presentations were scheduled, I wasn't included. I brushed it off at first. Maybe he was busy, maybe it was strategy. But then came the press release. It was the company's biggest announcement yet. Our software had gone public, and the world was calling it Daniel Carter's masterpiece. My name. Nowhere. My face. Erased from the narrative. I watched the live stream as he stood on that stage, smiling under the bright lights, saying, "I've spent years developing this technology." My heart dropped. Years that I had spent. Work that I had created. That night, something inside me broke. The man I trusted had stolen my life's work to build his fame. But what he didn't know was that I had every piece of proof, every file, every message, every timestamp that could expose him. And in that moment, I made myself one silent promise. I will reveal the truth, no matter what it costs. After that night, sleep became a luxury I couldn't afford. Every time I closed my eyes, I saw Daniel's face on that stage, the cameras flashing, the crowd cheering, and my own creation being celebrated under his name. But betrayal has a strange way of sharpening your mind. I wasn't going to confront him blindly. I was going to dismantle him piece by piece. Quietly. Strategically. I started by going through my old files, emails, version histories, project logs. Every commit, every idea draft, every code review was signed under my ID. I had proof that the project was mine. Even the system's backend held my digital fingerprints, the kind of evidence no PR stunt could erase. Then came the real discovery. While tracing old communication trails, I stumbled upon a series of hidden financial documents buried deep in the project archives. At first, I thought they were just budget logs. But when I decoded them, I realized Daniel wasn't just stealing credit. He was siphoning company funds into a private offshore account under a shell corporation. That changed everything. This wasn't just betrayal anymore. It was fraud on a massive scale. I knew I had to play it smart. If I went public too soon, he'd bury me under his legal team. So I started collecting everything, evidence of intellectual theft, data manipulation, and embezzlement. I even reached out to a trusted journalist I'd met during an industry conference months ago. Someone who wasn't afraid of going against powerful names. We set up a secret plan, a full-blown exposé. The journalist would verify every document, every timestamp, every financial link. Once we had everything airtight, the story would go live. Meanwhile, I kept my head low at work. Pretended everything was normal. Smiled during meetings, congratulated him on his success, while inside I was building the storm that would take him down. And then, one night, while I was cross-checking logs in the company's internal system, I found something unexpected, a private message thread between Daniel and a board member. They were planning to sell the company for $200 million. And I wasn't even mentioned in the acquisition deal. That was it. My revenge wasn't just about justice anymore. It was about survival. Because if I didn't act soon, I would lose not only my creation, but the future I had built with my own hands. The morning the story broke, I woke up to the sound of chaos. My phone was vibrating non-stop, notifications, messages, missed calls. At first, I thought something had gone wrong with the plan. But when I opened the first message from my journalist contact, I saw just 4 words. It's live. He's done. I rushed to turn on the news, and there it was. The headline flashed across every major network and social feed. Tech CEO Daniel Hayes exposed in $200 million fraud and identity theft scandal. They were playing footage, showing screenshots of financial transfers, internal chat logs, and even clips of Daniel on stage, all contrasted with my original work files and time-stamped proofs. Every lie he had built his empire on was collapsing in real time. Within minutes, his social media went dark. His company's website crashed from the flood of traffic. Employees started leaking even more evidence, how he'd manipulated contracts, silenced whistleblowers, and taken full control of projects he hadn't even contributed to. Then came the best part, the live board meeting. Someone leaked the footage. Daniel tried to defend himself, shouting, sweating, blaming others. But the directors weren't buying it. They suspended him on the spot, pending a full investigation. And within 24 hours, his assets were frozen. I didn't celebrate. Not right away. I just sat there, watching it all unfold, feeling hollow. Years of work, betrayal, anger, all coming down to this one moment. And even though he was finally exposed, the truth is, revenge doesn't heal everything. It just ends the nightmare. Later that night, I received one last email. It was from Daniel himself. No apology, no denial, just 2 sentences that said, "You were always smarter than me. I should have known better." I stared at those words for a long time before deleting the message. Because now, it was finally over. The story went viral, millions of views, hashtags trending, documentaries being pitched about the woman who took down her corrupt CEO. But for me, it wasn't fame I wanted. It was freedom. I walked away from the company, from the chaos, from the fame. I started my own firm, one built on truth, transparency, and respect. And every time I see another headline about a corporate scandal or betrayal, I just smile quietly. Because I know what it's like to be the one who rises from the wreckage. And this time, I made sure no one could ever steal my name again.